Test, test. Spare me 1 second. Let me confirm. Spare me 1 second. Okay. Let me confirm. All right. Look like we're good to go. Good morning, YouTube world. Hope your weekend is going well. For those who acknowledge and celebrate the 4th, happy 4th of July. But that's not what we're here today for. If I wish I had one of those horns, those sirens, and guess what today is? Today is my birthday. I won't disclose the age, but I'm in my 40s. All right. So I just wanted to give a PSA real quick to give some perspective. My lovely co-host, Venus, is not here at the moment. She is out with our other co-host, the little one. They're out running errands right now. She did a live yesterday on some gun laws that have changed, and she provided her perspective as an individual who actually has a concealed handgun license, and just her perspective on things. But nonetheless, I won't hold you long today, just providing some perspective. As I mentioned, I am in my 40s. I'm a year older, and the older you get, the more cognizant you need to be of your your body, and your body's trying to tell you some things. And just like anybody else is getting older, I'm having my own health ailments. Just recently, I have been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and we're taking some actions to get that resolved. And in the meantime, Venus has kind of, she's gotten on me about my eating habits and me being lagging in the physical fitness area. I wouldn't necessarily say I used to be a fitness nut, but I used to be aware of my health, and some of it I like. My appearance. I mean, she'll tell you once upon a time your boy was looking real nice once upon a time, but the older you get, you start getting into some bad habits, and before you know it, you've put on some weight, and it's all in your belly. But nonetheless, that's something I need to work on, and that's another conversation for another day. What I came to you today is for a bigger issue. I'm not the most celebratory when it comes to birthdays. That's just never been in my DNA. I can't really explain it. I believe that it's because like birthdays growing up wasn't, for me, it wasn't this pomp and circumstance event where, hey, I walk in the room, surprise, and confetti blows out. Everybody singing happy birthday. I never got those things. I think I recall having like one birthday party, but that's not me. That's not me bashing or giving it, just being judgmental of my parents. I don't recall my birthdays being big, and that might be some of the reasons of why I view birthdays the way I view them. However, with that being said, the older that I've gotten, I have a wife that's really tapped into my health, and she's really concerned about my health. She's always checking, like she's asking me questions, and we have 2 lovely kids, and I need to be here for them. And I need to do better with some of those things. Well, a part of this PSA, this is another chapter in my book of life, and every day that passes, I'm adding to that book. I'm adding a page to that book. Um, I try to prepare for tomorrow, but live for today. Uh, and and I stand by if my family's happy, I'm at peace. I get my happiness by seeing my kids happy, by seeing my wife happy. Um, that's where my place of zen rest is in everything that I have control of is in a peaceful space. That's where I rest at. And when they're not, I try my best to get us to this restful place. So it's a guilt. It's a fault of mine where sometimes I try to fix things that just don't supposed to be fixed. It's just the way things are. But that's just kind of how I am. That's how I'm wired. Uh, with all this that I'm talking, and more so, I'm kind of rambling because I'm just trying to get some things off my chest. With the older you get, you need to be listening to your body. You need to be tapped in. And while, like I said, I'm not necessarily celebratory of me another born year. I am happy that I'm still here. I have a lot of classmates for one reason or another, car accidents, brain aneurysms, even a heart attack. One was walking his dog on the side of the road and got hit and run on the side of the road. Like, there's so many things that are going on right now where people who are of the same age as me are not here anymore. And for that, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to the Most High because I really don't supposed to be here. I mean, like, there, maybe one day we'll have a, a live that I can really give you perspective on my life and even Venus's life. Like, there are times I can say that I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here, but for whatever reason, I'm here. And if I sound emotional, I do get emotional about these conversations because they're really deep for me. Um, and so I'm supposed to be here. Like something, somebody, something out there says it is not your time yet. And so with that, I try to make this count. I try to build on my legacy. I want my family proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I'm trying to establish a legacy to where Venus and I, we've worked hard to get to where we're at. And we're trying to make it to where our kids, they got a bit of a head start. We're trying our damnedest to do that. Rental property, whole life insurance policies, investments, all these things. We're trying our best to make it where they are going to be better, and we hope that they pass this along to their kids and their grandkids. Um, and with all that, this is just pound or chopping wood every day. Um, so what I ask of the YouTubers that take these things serious, start somewhere. Live as I go back to what I said before. Live for today and plan for tomorrow. And I know the landscape is so hard for us to do that right now. So hard. They're rolling back laws that don't help us. Um, but like we've said in numerous lives, the government is going to show you what they think about you. Those are the things you don't have control of. But what you do have control of is how are you going to react to it, and what are you going to do about it. Those are the things you have control of. So this is what I do. My blueprint does not mesh with others. What I suggest you to do is, we all have a timer on this planet. You don't know when, You don't know where. We all have, and when that clock stops, the world is going to keep turning. And in the midst of that, you're going to have children, you're going to have siblings, you may have parents, relatives, everybody's going to be grieving. And it's in your best interest to make the whole process as easy as possible. So, what I suggest individuals to do is write out what you want done. Obviously, you know, the whole will and testament, those things kind of go without saying, even though we don't do those things. You need to get something in paper, get something in writing and notarize. That's a step one. But other than that, have your stuff wrote out. If you are of faith, have it written out where you want to be buried, what songs you want, what songs you want uh, performed or sang at your homegoing. Um, what Bible verses that you want spoke. You know, all of these things, get all these things on paper and in writing. That way, there's no bickering and complaining. This thing is written by you and it's understood. Now if family members go against that, shame on them. And on top of that, if you have policies, if you have accounts, get those things on paper. That way, family members don't have to go through emails, go through uh, apps, don't have to go through your computer to see it. And they have all this information from you with the institution and the account number. Because normally what happens is in the moment of transition, when you get a death certificate, especially if your mate, your spouse's name is on that information is provided to you, and that person has power over that. Those funds are released to the next of kin. Um, if you're not married. Now I get it. There could be some financial loopholes there, and it's probably best to kind of get those I's dotted and the T's crossed. But of anything, get it on paper with the account number and the institution that it belongs to. Though, and just have that stuff listed out. If you have safety deposit boxes, all those things, get those things on paper and make sure that whoever has access to these accounts, there's no questions, there's no confusion, everything is understood. Those conversations can be very uncomfortable, but if you get ahead of those conversations when the time comes, there won't be any issues. Uh, Venus and I, we really we don't we talk about those things and we have those things. I have some knowledge of some stuff. Some there, I'm sure there may be a few things that I don't have knowledge of. And the same thing where she knows that I diversify like crazy, like whether it's penny stocks and acorn to just throwing money aside to our youngest and putting it in a savings account and just letting it accrue. I mean, like she knows that she is abreast of those things. But in the in-depth details, she may not know every single line, which I need to do better at that. And I'm sure eventually in the near future, uh, we're probably gonna sit down and have a powwow on that. Let me see. Is there anything else that I want to get off my chest? At the moment, there isn't. That's pretty much it. That all I have. Um, as the old saying goes, like, and this is old school church folk about getting your house in order. Getting your house in order can be very open and general term, but I suggest whether you have faith or whether you don't, I think that term can still be used. Get your house in order before you leave here, because the world is going to keep turning, but the last thing you want to do is compromise or leave your family in a bind and they're having to scramble to try to figure out things. Do you have any policies? Do you have any accounts? You know, Because guess what? Because all this stuff goes to your family, and these things are going to help them down the road. It's a tough conversation. It's a hard conversation to have. I recommend all you get your ducks in a row, get your house in order. However you want to frame it, whatever analogy you want to use, I highly advise you do those things. Uh, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you listeners allowing me the bandwidth to really uh, get this off my chest. Today's my born day. I don't know what I'm going to do with today. Uh, Venus laid out some things. Hey, you get a free meal over here. You get this over here. And it's like, so I may partake in those things, but normally on Sunday we normally just relax as a family, and that's probably what I'm going to do. I did some yard work yesterday, so that's done. Uh, Probably do a little barbecuing. What day would that be? Tomorrow. I plan to do some barbecuing, but not today. Um, but yeah, I guess 16 minutes and 20-ish seconds and counting. So um, I appreciate you giving me your time, YouTubers. Um, like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the extended weekend. And here's something that I ask of you. Go out there, whether it's a family member, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a parent, whether it's your spouse, mate, give them a hug, give them a kiss, tell them how you feel, tell them you love them. We don't do that enough. I don't think we do that enough. And also, I've said this before and I'll say this again. Just help somebody that you don't know. Do a noble deed with no expectations of getting something back. We fall guilty of doing something for somebody and expecting return. And if you do that, you didn't do that really out of the kindness of your heart. If you're expecting things to be reciprocated, you're doing it because of clout. You're doing it because it looks good. Do a good deed for somebody else, and all you do is tell them, pay it forward. Because if everybody just did something nice with no expectations of return for somebody else, this world would be a better place. We all be in a better place and in a better space. So with that being said, I will close this live, and YouTube world, enjoy your day. Be safe.